Why are the most negative people being pushed to the forefront for the black community? When you take a look at the celebrities, the mindset that's being pushed and promoted, it's all negative. You know, the YNs, the thoughts, the bad bees, this is what's being pushed in the black community. They're getting fame, they're getting money, they're getting accolades, they're getting commercials, they're getting all these different things, when in a normal society, these people will be pushed to the background. This was done by design to make sure that you stay in a degenerate state of mind. They do not want you to be productive at all. Anytime that you start to be productive, they have to step in to slow down the productivity. This is their mind state. Okay? And you have to understand that you do not own your media. And there's a reason for that. They will never allow you to own your media. And I'll give you an example. BET. They have black faces as CEOs and whatnot, but BET is not owned by black people. BET is ultimately owned by the Redstone family. It was acquired by Viacom in 2001, which changed how BET was drastically. It changed the cultural mindset. It changed the mindset of BET. It changed a lot of different things about BET. When you look at BET before 2000 and let's say 3, and you look at it after, it's completely different. That's because now it's owned by Paramount, CBS, and the Redstone family. And Tyler Perry tried to purchase it. They rejected him, of course. And Scott Mills tried to purchase it, and they rejected him, of course, because they do not want you to own your own image. They do not want you to own your own image. They do not want you to control the direction of your culture. It's like somebody's drinking and somebody puts something in their drink, right? And then when the person is acting crazy and acting like he's on something, they're like, oh, look how crazy he's acting. Look at how he's behaving. Look, he's dancing on the table. Look, he's taking his clothes off. Look at him. You know, he's like an animal. Look at how he's behaving. But he's the one that put that thing inside of his drink. This is what's happening to you black people. You still went along with this detrimental mindset, so you're not blameless either. But the top person is to blame is the one that actually put that thing in the drink. And understand that this is not by accident, this is by design. And I was watching some old school BET clips, you know, with BET News, with Tavis Smiley, you know, the Teen Summit, you know, different things like that. And you could see there was a completely different vibe that was being pushed. Even the so-called rappers that were rapping about, you know, street life and whatnot, they sounded intelligent. They weren't promoting it. They were just speaking. They were speaking upon conditions. And even when they spoke intelligently in these interviews. There was a completely different mind state, and I'm gonna do some review videos on that as well. But these individuals are being pushed to the forefront. Sexy Red, she was developed. NBA Youngboy, he was developed. And it's not that these people can't have talent. They could have talent. There's an abundance of our people that have talent. You can go and throw a rock anywhere in the hood and you'll find a whole bunch of talented people. You know? You could throw rocks in the hood and hit a whole bunch of talented people in the hood. Why? Because we are a talented people by nature. What is a talent? A talent is a measure of weight, meaning that our spirit is more valuable because of the talent that we have. They're using the ones of you that have some talent, but they're taking the worst of them and allowing them to portray this terrible image to the rest. And some of them are not even living that lifestyle, but they're making them to portray that lifestyle so that the younger generation would want to be like them. Some of them are not even living that lifestyle at all. Future came out and said that he doesn't even do drugs. The same ones telling you to be single, they have husbands. So it's a mindset that's being pushed, and it's being pushed on purpose by these same individuals that I'm speaking about. that own BET, that own these different networks, that own these music industries. And they will never allow you to get to the level, to be on top, to be in those boardrooms, because they have a glass ceiling that they will not allow you to control your own music. They will not allow you to control your own TV. As long as they have the opportunity, at least. In their mind, they will always have the control of the greater media, the greater image, the greater culture. You may have pockets of people that are doing certain positive things, quote unquote, but that's not what's going to be the dominant force, because they don't own a CBS, they don't own a Paramount, they don't own a Fox News. And also, you got to remember this too. The URL, right? You had the rap battle, right? URL, you think that's owned by Smack and that's owned by Beasley. No, that's not owned by Smack and Beasley anymore. That's owned by the shareholders. One of the big shareholders is the same person that owns Fox News. Rupert Murdoch, if I'm not mistaken, is his name. Rupert Murdoch. He owns a large portion of shares in the URL, the Rap Battle League. And that's speaking about nothing but destruction. And now they got, alphabet people that are joining that as well. So this is all leading to counterproductive things. They do not want you to be productive. They want you to be counterproductive. So I just had to say that, this was a quick video. I wanted to push that understanding out there that these people are being pushed to the forefront on purpose within your community. You don't go to these other communities and see the worst of them being pushed to the forefront. You don't go to the Chinese community and see the gangs amongst the Chinese people being pushed to the forefront as the thing to be. The drug dealers being pushed in the TV shows as the thing to be. Snowfall, these different things. You don't see that in Japan. You don't see that in Sweden. They got drug dealers. They got gang bangers. They got all kind of things over there. They don't push that as the thing to be. But when you push that amongst blacks, especially blacks in America, who are very influential, that's going to also affect the other diaspora around the world. So I just want to say that this was the message for today. Something to think about. Why is this garbage being pushed to the forefront? With that, I'm out.